I don't know. I think if Moo wins that one, that just swings the entire thing for Supreme. So I think the 3 seed's pretty crucial. The 4 seed too, probably. I don't know. This it just seems so close. I don't know how to call it here. I wish there were more classes available. Supreme's brought a couple of rogues, and actually, I know the Harry Generals have been doing quite a bit of work behind the scenes in getting some cool planning stuff going on. So actually, I might favor the Generals slightly more now that I think to what I've got going on.
Yeah, it's. I think Cassie brought up a good point of for the way THL works, and
Mm-hmm.
specifically the way we match up and the way the scoring's done within the league. I definitely think that more often than not, so like 60% of the time, you would see a team with a structure like the Harry Generals being more successful than Supreme. But that doesn't mean that they are the outright favorites. But um, I think based on the way that we set things up here, you would expect the Harry Generals to have a better shot. But it comes down to those spots, like you were saying, Cassie, in the 5 seed, Detrucci or Gernblans to getting a win there.
Yeah.
But
I
you,
think the way you beat the Generals is you have to capitalize on like the way they I don't want to say punt, but like they go into a big disadvantage overall with most 4 seeds.
hmm
And I think
Mm-hmm.
the teams they've played this season overall haven't really been able to punish that. And I think maybe Prometheus can. I think whoever they play next round
Has
most
to.
definitely can.
right.
So, yeah, I'm really
Mm.
interested to see how that shakes out going forward.
Yeah. And speaking of the way that THL works, like there's just I don't know. There's this pattern of class selection. I'm looking at here again. Like
Yep.
Supreme's had this pattern of bringing Hunter over and over,
Hunter every week.
like all the hunters, and you can see like the Harry Generals. They got 4 warriors lined up there, visible on the site right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like they've seen this coming. Like you could
Yeah,
just tell.
I think so too. I think looking at class selections, I think now that you bring that up, they're a pretty heavy favorite.
Yeah, I think they've done their research, and they should be probably even more of a favorite walking into this. But I don't know. That's why we play the game.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
true.
We'll have to see.
I hate to say it. Get ready to drink, guys. Entropy was favorites over Continuum, and we're no longer in the playoffs.
Oh, it feels bad, man.
So that brings us to our second semifinals matchup, and we got the team that whooped our ass during the regular season, gave us our biggest defeat of the season, versus the team that knocked us out of the playoffs. If there was a way for me to have neither one of you win, um, I would do so. But in this case, I can't. So Team Rank 5 versus Continuum. In Week 4, Team Rank 5 beats Continuum 15-10. Cassie, based off of your previous matchup, um, what do you guys expected coming in, and how big? I know we touched on a little bit, but how big of an impact do you think Super Explosive Sheep is going to have on the overall matchup between the two teams?
Yeah, so last time we played them, fun fact, Despair beat Imbolc.
Yeah,
And I
got
think that
leashed.
got a little overlooked. And so, like, Super Explosive Sheep is not only going to have to, again, upset in the 3 seed like Continuum did last time, he's got to beat a better player to do it. Sorry, Imbolc, I love you. You're unleashed. You're great. Want to fluff that ego, but Parker's a better player. And Super Explosive Sheep has to go up against the best player on the team, probably a top 5 to 7 player in THL. I know his PR is down lately, but he's really good. He just brings rogue and loses with it a lot. Um, but yeah, like I feel really good about that matchup. I know the whole team does, and I don't see a single matchup that I feel bad about, which feels really good. Like I think the only one we feel a little iffy about is me against Adidas because he's a 500 PR. But he plays a lot of the same decks and classes I do, and I think I can hang with him and let Hearthstone be Hearthstone and maybe steal a win. So the other four I feel really good about. And Parker against Explosive Sheep, like even if that repeats the way it did last time, we still won 15-10. So I think I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, having played both you guys throughout the regular season, I think that you guys match up a little better than people would expect looking at the points and the records throughout the regular season. With you guys being, heads and shoulders above Continuum as far as points go. But I do like your point, and the more you say it about the 1 seed, the more I'm realizing how much I like it and agree with this. Hearthstone has to be Hearthstone up at the top,
I love being up here. It's the best.
which it truly. I mean, I look at what statistically speaking is a 40-point underdog in you, Cassidy, and I sit here going, you know what? I can actually see him winning, and I love that. I never really understood why I thought that way up in the 1 seed until you made that point of things are gonna happen. RNG has to go in your favor. The draws have to go in your favor. The mulligans have to hit because when you get to a certain level, that's the separation between players.
Hmm.
It's gonna be cool to see Jesus versus Grim. Um,
Oh yeah.
as as I have had great success this season against Grim, and not so much success against Jesus, but they play completely different styles than I play, and I think them against each other is gonna be fun to watch. Although I'm sorry, Grim, I enjoy playing against you and all. I do have to tip my hat in favor of Jesus C. I think the fact that there is a matchup, I could go, this is the guaranteed win. Um, would lean my
Maybe.
my bias towards Team Rank 5.
Those classes look pretty tough for Jesus, but I think he can pull it off.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I mean. Like, this Hearthstone is not a game where you could look at similar opponents all that often and go, all right, Jacksox got his ass kicked by Jesus, but beat Grim 6-2 throughout the season
Hmm.
because I play a certain style that they don't play. It's that whole rock paper scissors mentality. Aggro, mid range, control, whatever, however you want to break it up. That makes sense for you. Where I have great deal of success against Grim, not so much success against Jesus, but that doesn't mean Grim can't have success against Jesus because of the way that those individual players play and what they bring to the table when they do play. However, I still think Jesus is winning that.
Yeah, Jesus is kind of the favorite child of Team Rank 5 over there. So they put a lot of pride in Jesus. I see them spectating him play on ladder quite often. I creep in my little Hearthstone client, see what the Team Rank 5 people are up to in their room,
In their little cave down there.
in their little cave. Gotta see what's going on.
Grim's Bible thumping down there.
It really is. I could barely see that Bible thump in the midst of all the spam, man.
Yeah, where are the mods? Do we have any mods in there? God.
All right, Rip Lemur, Rip Alex Straza, Rip Bendy Click.
um, you know, it, I don't know how much we just touched on this because I got sidetracked by the Twitch chat spam. But Crayon against Mange in the 4 seed. You know, typically when we're looking at 4 seeds, we're looking at somebody between like 250 and like maybe 315.
Yeah,
And,
that's gone. Even looking at the Facebook recruitment
Power
posts,
creep.
everybody's pulling a Team Rank 5. They want to stack that 4 seed.
and I think this is one of those matchups that's really not being given the attention that it deserves
Yeah.
this
Hmm.
week.
I
As
agree.
Crayon, for the second time this season, took down my boy Zather, who you guys all know I think very highly of. Um, and we, probably more so than anybody else last week, game planned in that spot. Zather thought he had a really good plan coming in,
Oh, Crayon's so good, man.
and he still, dude, he handles it, and
He's so good.
he's just, you know what he is? He's a solid player. And for those who know what I mean by that, it's good decision making,
Yep.
minimizes the mistakes.
He
If he
plays
ha-
his decks really well. Um,
exactly.
I don't think he's got a huge variety of decks, but the ones he plays very well.
Yeah, and it's shown. I actually went and looked up good old Crayon, his record this season. He's one of those. He's
He's
one of
five and
those
two, right?
7-1 guys. I
And
looked it
his
up.
only loss was to Mange.
Yeah,
Ooh,
interesting.
ooh,
Yeah,
storylines.
Crayon's been doing well though.
Yeah,
I think he
and
might be one of the maybe underappreciated 4 seeds in the league, actually, as far as that
I agree. I think
that
he's
seed goes.
at the very top of the list, probably next to like Mange. Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
I also think it's crazy for those who weren't playing along last season. Mange went from holding a one, some weeks two or two seed, some weeks one seed spot last season, to now playing in the four spot. And when Mange was in the two seed, he was a player that would he held his own. Like, Team Rank 5 had that interesting situation last season where those three guys bounced around at the top.
Yeah.
So to put a player of that caliber and that Hearthstone intelligence into the four spot, it's like that's gonna be an awesome matchup. I hope that's getting streamed somewhere.
I would guess that it probably is.
Mange and Cran, Salty Saturday, which will tell
Main,
you
yeah, there you go. I
that's
was gonna say
awesome.
Mange is always down to play on stream.
That is all. I cannot wait. So I hope my fireside's done by then, so I could be sitting here watching that matchup. All right.
Yeah, I hope to see a lot of that. Whether it's I mean, we're gonna get to talking about Salty Saturday
I was just gonna give the lineup.
eventually, but oh no, gotta save that.
Okay.
Keep
Keep
people around.
string them along.
And yeah, and then I don't know, the THL Sunday tickets there, if people have games that they're playing on that day or Saturday
I
even.
think Parker might be playing on Saturday. Should talk to him.
Yeah.
We should get
I'm
that
here.
streamed.
That's also on the guys. Spoiler alerts. Let's move on from who should be streamed because I'm sure that if you're thinking, yeah, it's on the bottom there. So,
Oh, we got 3 of them on Salt.
oh my
Man.
God, it's gonna be so good. And that's not to
Oh
include.
man.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. If you think about it, guys, there's only 10 matchups happening this weekend, right?
Yep.
So, four
Yeah,
of them are
I
happening on
imagine.
Salty Saturday. If people are flexible and willing, we could get the majority of these out there. Four of them
I
are
know it,
taken care of.
until it is in legislation, Imbolc will never play on stream. So until he contractually is obligated to play on stream, he just won't.
In
I've
bulk,
tried so hard.
in bulk, I don't know, like my stream is a safe environment for you. I have dog treats.
he's
I
got a little he's got a little
I got
dog
a
bed
little
over there. He
I got a
keeps
little dog house for you. I want to see in bulk play, man.
the
Oh, you're
world
not
want
the only one. He doesn't even let us spectate him on ladder. Like he turns spectate off 24/7.
Got to hack
that
into his computer
that
or
is
something.
harsh, man. That is
Yeah,
harsh.
it's tough.
All right, Slim, what do you think, man? Do the is it time for the people to see it? Are the people ready for it?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm ready.
So, listen, folks, Slim and I, we went and we got some investors, and we put together a high budget, high class, high definition, amazing promo for the THL. We've worked on a video to welcome players to the league, and also a very relevant video for anybody that's currently a free agent.
Let's load up the stream.
And we are going to. I'm just going to link them and let them all watch it on because I don't want to crash my video card again. AMD did an update this morning. I already rebooted. Apparently, I have to go through and reconfigure everything. Overclocking problems, folks. But I'm going to link them right now. So stop the spam, damn it. Oh, Brunson, you're a pain in my ass. Can't ban me, Jax. Yes, I can.
Oh, I already did. You're fine. That's
Um,
already done.
link number one. Actually, watch it if you're interested in knowing how to get involved in the THL. And link number two here. This is for free agents. Oh yes, Jedi. Oh yeah. So we're gonna
Oh,
give you guys.
it's done all right.
We're gonna give a moment for that to sink in for those of you interested in watching that, and we're gonna go on a little tangent about guys. This is extreme development. Um, a lot still in the works. The details are very foggy, but it's a really cool concept that we're working on at THL right now. Uh, that have we actually named it yet, guys? Is it named or we're just calling it the development league for now?
Yeah, we don't have a real name, but we're gonna. It's kind of like a. I don't know what
Did
to
you
call it. It's gonna be like a fun 3-on-3 street ball league. That's
did you
what I
guys
think of it as.
did you guys not like the name that I suggested in the document?
Well, we do we get to vote on it? Do we get to choose it,
Come
Slim?
on, it's after a Hearthstone card, the sparring partners.
Oh, I like it. I'm
It's
down.
so cool. It's good. I don't know how relevant like the battle cry of giving taunt is to. Is that relevant at all here? I don't know. Oh, Saturday made a Twitch account. Feels good,
Yeah,
man.
well, we're not going to talk about that. It was going to be Friday, but if you've been watching the Twitch spam, you already know why it may not be Friday. So yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
So yeah, there's going to be a developmental league uh, slash sparring partner. I don't know what we're calling it. Yeah, I like it, Slim. If we can make it stick, I'd like to make it stick. But the thought process behind it, folks, is that we're gonna have like a 3-on-3 setup. It'll be a kind of like Cassie said, kind of like pickup basketball, right?
Yep.
So you'll be associated with a parent team. You'll be treated as a member of that team, and it's aimed towards getting as many people involved as we can in the league. Um,
And getting you guys used to kind of the format,
yeah, in
you
the
know,
process of
how that all works.
Mm-hmm.
so be on the lookout for that. When we have it set in stone, we will be posting more info about it. I can tell you over on Entropy, we're already looking for people to get involved. So if you don't find yourself as an active player next season, please consider coming to Entropy to be on our sparring partners team because we'd love to have you
If that name sticks.
if that name
Yeah, there's
sticks.
I know there's definitely at least 2 other THL teams who are going to be looking to do this. We won't name names
Oh,
on the
we
stream.
are for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Of course. Do you want to
Definitely.
you have a name for in mind for these 3 individuals, don't you?
I don't know it. If we do and Mange wants to share, he can type it in chat. I honestly have no idea what it is.
All right. I think I heard what it's going to be, but we'll
Mm, no, it's Team Dank 5, right? Isn't that the name of it?
Oh baby.
yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah.
it's Team Dank 5. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
remembered.
something along those lines, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
there we
good.
go.
Yeah, should be pretty cool.
So this brings us to developmental league, Slim Shamine's acting careers. Um,
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Oh my God, Brunson, you literally have no life, man. Stop making
Oh
accounts.
no. Oh no, I misclicked.
He's Nazi.
So on to the Q and A, guys. Let's get back to
Yeah,
productivity.
Quick show tonight.
there's
We
a
could do a
lot of
chat
questions.
Q&A even.
There's a lot of questions here, and I think we might actually have the time for all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's start at the top and just head on down. Let's not even pick and choose. Let's just go. Starting off with Brunson. Um,
This
he
is a
wants to know: have we put any thoughts towards the best of 7 idea for the finals? Slimsh, have we put any thought towards the best of 7 idea for the finals?
um I think ultimately we did put some thought into it, but we decided against it because it's just such a different feel from
Yeah.
the rest of the season. Like it's so different to extend
Mhm.
it to one more class would have to get submitted, and I think within a conquest format especially, like a best of 7 just isn't that great.
No,
Like
I agree.
with the nature of conquest, maybe in the last tier standing it'd be a little bit more valuable, but I don't know. Like to add one more class, a lot of players in this league, like they are not like they don't play a ton of different stuff. So it just wouldn't it would be a weakness for a lot of different players. And I think it's just fair to stick to what the regular season one is.
Yeah, it's really tough to like go all season trying to determine who the best at any given thing is and then get all the way down to 2 teams and then change everything. And you're like, well, you were the best at that format, but like we spent all season
Yeah.
playing this a certain way to determine who the best was, and then we changed. Like, I don't know, it just feels very unrewarding to me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that, Brunson. Mr. Necro Havoc asks: the top 2 scoring teams at the moment have an entourage of 6 or more. Is this coincidence, or is this the winning formula teams will gravitate to?
Chuck Fact Socks.
Oh no, I accidentally clicked Alex Straza again.
Stop banning people that don't need to be
Oh
banned.
man, this is great.
So, um, I think there's a lot of merit to I don't know. You're stuck somewhere between more eyes looking at the problem, more brains working on finding a solution, the better, as well as the potential for too many cooks in the kitchen. Uh, but I think if you put the right people together in the right amount in the right environment, I do think that's a formula for success. I do think that's why you'll see a lot of teams pushing to have a successful sparring partners team. Um, I think personally it's a benefit. I don't think it's any coincidence that if you look at teams like the Harry Generals and Team Rank 5, they're scoring stupid amounts of points this season. That they both have great player environments to be a part of, and they have a lot of team cohesion and spend a lot of time together. I think that's the recipe for success.
Yeah. I look at Mange and Jedi, and I think those guys have done a better job than anyone of building a strong, connected team environment full of team chemistry, full of guys that love to play the game together and get better together. And I think they are being super rewarded for it, not only because people like Jesus, like Imbolc, like myself. Oh my God, I was so bad. I don't know why they signed me in the first place. Um, Getting so much better at Hearthstone because there's a reason to log on. Like, we were talking on Facebook today, and I made the comment, and I was half joking, but the more I think about it, the more I think how true it is to me. Having a team to like hang out with is a reason to stay on Hearthstone when you get tilted after losing 2 games in a row. And like just having that to work with and people to hang out with and play with and enjoy their company. Hearthstone's a game where the more you play it, the better you get. It's like anything else. And I think having that strong team environment is going to lead to success down the line, as well as, and we kind of saw this with Parker and Killajive this offseason, people want to join a team that has that going for it because you're just very attractive to people outside. And so on top of their players improving, the Harry Generals go out, they sign Poker, we go out, we get Parker. And like building that culture, I think is the first step. So new captains that are in chat, like your job isn't to sign all the best players right now and win as many games as you can. Your job is to build a successful team culture that people want to be a part of for a long time. And so when Murdoch decided, hey, you know what, I don't want to play a season, or hey, my PR is too high, he didn't say I'm going to go play on this other team. He said I'm going to hang out and focus on other things, but be a part of Team Rank 5. And Killajive like did the same thing. He said, "Hey, I'm going to step away, but I don't really want to sub for anybody else because I don't like Hearthstone and I love Team Rank 5. So I'm just here if you guys want to hang out and talk." And like that's the direction that we're going. We're constantly building, but we're not losing anybody, and it's really
Mm-hmm.
weird. And like the generals are doing the same thing. So shout out to those two guys for putting together awesome communities full of players that just love playing together.
Amongst all the spam in there, Cassie, I don't know if you got to read. I saw Slimsh got the comment on it. Hot Asian girl who was a sub for this week, um, a high caliber player in
Oh yeah, I
Hearthstone,
see that.
was saying that he got a very positive community vibe from the time he spent in the Harry General's Skype calls
Yeah,
and group
I believe
chats.
it.
And that's something that you want to promote. You got to think of, if somebody that walks into our team chat that's never been here before, how are they going to feel about it?
Yep.
And to be able to promote that kind of community environment, it's awesome. So kudos to Jedi, kudos to Mage. And I'm sure there's other captains out there that are doing it. It's just this question was
In bulk.
it was pointed specifically at these teams. So,
Just to hang out with bullies Bible thumping.
Mr. Smoked Salmon asked this one specifically to those of us who are not in the playoffs. Uh, you could drink to that one, Slimsh.
Man, that
Oh,
sucks.
Um,
happens.
Slimsh Jacksock says, Captains, how will you be spending these next 2 weeks? Will you be taking a break to enjoy the playoffs, or does preparation for Season 3 start now? Even teams still in it are already preparing.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, the day we got knocked out, I cried in a bottle of Tito's. And then I got right on the. I actually didn't start posting anything on the forums. I actually tried to wait as long as I can because, as I said before, I don't want to take the focus off the finals. I don't want to take the focus off of the work that the Harry Generals, Team Rank 5, Team Supreme, and Continuum have done this season by blowing up the thread with, hey, let's start thinking about Season 3. But in private messages and so on, and then ultimately when I saw teams grabbing my free agents on the thread, um,
Sneaky.
I was already working on Season 3. But I am trying to enjoy the playoffs as somebody that's been in this league since it started. I have investments in teams that aren't just entropy. I have I'm not gonna stay them on the air, but I do have my favorite teams that aren't entropy. I do have a couple of teams in the race right now I am cheering for. If I can't win, I'd like to see one of those teams win. So it's a little bit of both, but I'm definitely preparing for season three. As I said, we locked in our roster already today, um, and we're already preparing for next season. Slim, what about you, man?
I took about a day or so to marinate afterward, but yeah, after that, right back on planning. Might as well take advantage of much time as you possibly can because it's definitely a process where you want to take time to really cover all your bases and keep everyone informed. Make sure that whatever decisions you're looking to make for the next season are going to be the best. So yeah, there's really no time to wait because even the teams who are still in the playoffs are probably doing this. Like, you might miss out on a really attractive free agent or player to sign to your team if
Maybe.
you wait too long.
Hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting. It's gonna be a really tough thing to govern, but it'll be interesting to see as we grow as a community. And it's almost a disadvantage for the teams still in the playoffs that are gonna have to adjust a PR cap afterwards.
a little
Yeah,
Uh,
bit.
that's the toughest part.
so it'll be interesting to see moving forward if we start making signing dates wait. Not that decisions aren't already made, but at least give the teams still involved that need to be focusing on their next opponent some time to talk to these folks. That's part of the thing I was saying at the beginning is we were trying to with entropy we make team decisions on who we bring in. Everybody that comes in is a vote, but we were trying to hold off on doing any off-season stuff to really give the playoff teams time to focus on what they need to be focusing on and winning a championship, not worried about us stealing their players from underneath them.
hmm I'm stealing questions from Twitch chat, by the way. I've seen a few of them so far.
Yeah,
They
there's been a few really good ones.
they're huge and huge text down there.
I
Yeah,
should mention though, teams in the playoffs, you should definitely be doing your due diligence. I know that we opened discussions with Killajive last season during like the second week of the playoffs, and we just said,
mhm.
"Hey man, we're probably gonna have a spot open. You're probably gonna fit in it. We're not telling you not to sign with anybody, but we're saying if you want to come on board." And that goes back to that whole culture thing because Killajive was willing to wait despite having other teams say, "Hey, we want to sign you." He's like, "Nah, I'm actually holding off and seeing how other things shake out," and we ended up getting him. So definitely
That
be doing your due diligence, calculating scenarios like if we lose now, what do we have? If we win the whole thing, what do we have, etc. And
God,
yeah,
Fendi
we're doing that. So
Fendi clicks on
Good.
fire. Yeah, you really are not gonna reveal
we
anything.
are. Full disclosure, we went to Slimsh and I offered to buy him 50 packs, but Slimsh decided he wanted to be a captain. We cooked up
Yeah,
a strategy where
well, the
we
mean
could get
guy.
Slimsh and Jack Sox and just like put the whole board on one team, but it fell through.
Really?
Yeah, we actually had like that scenario was a possibility.
Oh man, that'd
That's
be
hilarious.
Yeah,
OPOP.
we spend way too much time on
You know,
THL over in the Team Rank 5 Discord channel.
so
It's kind of
This is
pathetic.
why this is why you ruined Saturday.
I just want to put this out there. So on that, seeing as we're going to full disclosure, um, I just want to put this out publicly in case it happens. If I disappear, and nobody knows where I am, send the police immediately to Furpo's house.
Oh God.
Apparently his plan is to drive me nuts to the point that he gets to take over Entropy. Sorry, Furpo, to put you on blast publicly, but he has plans to. There might be a mutiny, and he might be the new captain of Entropy if his mission is successful.
Oh
Oh.
God.
Oh man, Furpo, by the way, for those of you who don't know, has been one of the staple residents over on our team. So him and I have a very good rapport. All right, moving on to questions. Coming from Nubasaurus, how do you feel about the new teams? Yay! Positions in the division. Um, which seem to correlate with previous divisions or teams that the captain played on. Is this the way to organically grow both division cultures as well as rivalries? Funny story. I know that's where they ended up, and Cassie and Slimsh could back me up on this. Um, a lot of the teams actually flip flopped. Where they landed is not where they started. I don't know. I don't think it was intentional for us to throw them. I know Salt ends up back in Red Division. Um, But if you look like Twiz ends up in blue. Where are his connections there? Uh, there are some cool ones. Gideon ends up back in
Oh
green
yeah.
division.
Bendy
Uh,
like stays in green division.
yeah, so there are some of these correlations, but I don't believe we intentionally did that because if you guys remember, some of those teams started elsewhere and we switched them around to land where they are now.
I think we did as an extent, but we always have balance in mind, and we didn't want to take the what we assumed would be the very best new team. Like I think of our new captains, Twiz is probably at the top of players, and like we put him in blue because we wanted like blue. We didn't want a new captain to just go get run over in blue, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and like that's all being thought of because we want to keep these divisions as these competitive entities that kind of share an identity, and so we kind of did that. But I do think it's going to help with the culture. I think it's going to help matches get scheduled. To be very frank with you,
Mm-hmm.
Salt and Jack Sox being able to talk about, hey, your player hasn't submitted classes, like there's a connection there, so that's a very easy conversation to have. Jerry Damage talking to Super Sam about that in Orange. Again, very easy conversation.
We were
And we
actually.
saw we saw more DQs this season than we
Mm,
have in a while, which sucked. And so I think
Really did.
we've placed the new teams in divisions to keep things balanced and to get DQs off the table. And so that's kind of the thinking there.
it's actually funny that you brought that up about communication, because Salt and I were having a very long, heartfelt conversation in the every season we start a new hangout for Entropy. In the season 2 hangout, Salt and I were continuing to talk, and he was like, "Don't worry, man, I'll be in this thing all season long." I was like, "I know you will, because I still talk to Byron or Almace, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
in the season 1 hangout for Entropy. Like, these are guys that, much like you were speaking of with Killajive, that even if they leave your team as an active player, if you build the rapport correctly, if either Almace or Salt were to ask me, I had the opening, like they have a home on Entropy. Um, so it does help to keep things running smoothly that we have open lines of communications and rapport already built within, as you were saying, Jerry Damage of the superheroes. Pretty much if you're in red division in Entropy, um, you're probably on our team at one point. Here's the thing I actually want to ask, and it'd be interesting. I was looking at this. So now you have Almace, who was bred to be a rival of Archon Storm. Salt, who was bred to be a rival of Arc. Does Archon Storm now have 3 rivals within the Red Division?
They have to try hard before they can have any rivals.
True.
They do, and I think they will with
Oh,
standard out.
I think so too. I hope we do the preseason power rankings again because I'm
Oh,
gonna have them pretty high up there.
it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I love the power rankings. I hope they continue as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's with 20 teams now, it's just gonna get bigger and better. It's gonna be
There's more for
crazy.
us to argue over.
Yeah, more room for movement too.
Mm-hmm.
Like wider spreads, maybe even. I don't know.
So I don't know who this next one was. Are all these from Nubasaurus?
Yes.
Yeah, he did a three-parter, and it looks like we even have time for it.
All right, all
They're
right.
they're pretty good questions, I thought.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we got plenty of time.
So,
Hmm.
based on recent announcements, THL seemed to focus on promoting captains with collective experience in TCGs rather than just exclusively with Hearthstone. Um, do you think this promotes a healthier team mentality that is having an experienced player who understands and helps and adapts their players to the game and the changing meta, so on and so forth? Um, yeah, man, I think that's awesome to see. I know that Salt has experience with 1,000,001 different TCGs other than Hearthstone, and he was fantastic on our team. What are your guys' views on that?
I don't know that. I don't think it's so much a coincidence or like a thing that we looked at. Okay, yes, they have background in this or that. Like I think that's definitely things that players talk about when they're like trying to up themselves as a player. But I think it just
Mm-hmm.
like goes to show that if they have backgrounds in card games like that, and if they care, like it just leads to reason that they would care enough about another card game like Hearthstone. Like you're talking about someone who's played Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or
Exactly.
something. Like they might be pretty invested in Hearthstone maybe in general, and then you add a league like THL onto it, and maybe like that just seals the deal, and they're really wanting to do this because I think in other card games, like people work together similar to how we do here, right? So
Kind of. Yeah.
Mm,
yeah, so they're probably used to this sort of thing, and it comes pretty naturally to a lot of them, I think.
Yeah, I think it more so just speaks to Hearthstone and its popularity. Like players from other card games are coming to play Hearthstone, then they find THL because Hearthstone doesn't have the whole like Friday night or Friday night Magic atmosphere yet that
Hmm.
Magic has, and so those players are drawn to a consistent weekly league like THL because it mirrors what they're used to with other card games, and then I guess they get into it and they decide to start teams. I don't know how directly card game experience factors into Hearthstone experience. Like I think there's parts of it like tempo and value are obviously pretty normal terms, so it's like card advantage. But Hearthstone's just so different than anything else I've ever played.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, things such. I definitely think it's good to know the basics of it. It's kind of like taking a swinging sport like baseball, right? And then you could apply it to other
Hmm.
things such as softball and, and,
Yeah.
and wiffle ball and so on and so forth. Those sports are not the same. You have to make adjustments, but at least if you have the foundation, you're not coming into it completely awkward and awful. So, to finish out Nubasaurus's questions, um, what are you laughing at, damn it?
I want to get banned.
Nubasaurus says, "What divisions are you or your team itching to face against? What divisions? Not just teams. Okay, so what
Oh, this is a
divisions?
good one.
I read it wrong. I thought it was teams. I need to think about this one. So
Divisions, yeah.
if one of
Oh,
you guys,
I know your answer. I know your answer.
oh yeah, that's right. Okay,
You've revealed yourself.
I forgot that whole thing happened.
For me, like, what division do I want? Am I itching to face against? Like, there's so many reasons to play both of them, but I think I'm slightly more inclined to look forward to. Oh God, but Archon Storm's gonna try hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta lean orange though, cause like Boom Squad's over there, Team Rank Five's over there. Jerry Damage's team, which apparently I just learned in chat that Takua has been added to Jerry Damage's team. That's really exciting. Takua is the guy I played with in season beta on the Go To Casuals when we were able to win it all that
Hmm.
season. So I
Mm.
think that puts the nail in the coffin to want to
Playing beta qualities and playing with beta players.
play against Orange. Stop it. Oh, feels bad, man. Yeah, Orange would be the one for me.
Cassie, you
Red's
got
next.
you got division you're itching to play against?
I don't know. I Blue has those two new teams I haven't played yet, so I'd kind of like to play them. But it has a lot of players I've played against. Green has other players I've played against. Like this season, I think was Red had the most new experiences for me, and so Green and Blue, like they'll have them, but I don't think anything will be as cool as playing against like new opponents week in and week out. And like we had the new look Entropy. I don't remember ever playing Entropy. We had Continuum, who was new. We had Archon Storm, who I don't think I've played against since like week one of season Kappa. Like it was just a lot of fun. So I'm actually really looking forward to playing through Orange again because I love our
Mm.
division. I love playing against those guys.
I totally forgot that I had to block it out of my memory. Um, I want to play green. I really want to play green. Very specifically because I want to play Slimsh. Um, it's been since season beta, and Slimsh actually had to go back and research it for me.
A manlet never forgets.
For those of you who were around in season beta, it was a very, very forgettable season for anybody that wasn't on Gosu Casuals. Um, but I haven't gotten a chance to play against my other Tavern Talk host. Cassie and I, we squared off this season. It didn't go too well
Hmm.
for me. He's got bragging rights over me, so I got beat Slim, so I got bragging rights over somebody on this show.
Well,
Um,
neither Cassie or I got bragging rights at all last season. We tied.
that's rough, man.
I
So I
know.
would love to play Slimsh to be able to have bragging rights over him.
Huh, you
Um,
beat us in beta.
yeah, but I don't remember it because I didn't have the same emotional investment I have
Too
now.
much, too much Tito's.
Too much Tito's will do that to the brain. But not just simply
Feels
to
bad.
play against the Gosu casuals with Team Lemur over there.
Ooh.
Uh, Lemur knows how I feel about him. I would thoroughly enjoy being him at Hearthstone. I'll just leave it like that publicly. All right, so Slim, why don't you read these questions because I've read
From
them all.
Vendy Click.
Yeah.
All right, so Vendy Click, and I don't know, like we got a couple more minutes here. If people ask questions in chat, we're reading chat. We'll see them. Vendy Click asked a few cool questions. And I think this one, much like many Facebook posts, are kind of self-centered. He's basically asking this one about himself: is what kind of advantage do you think a team would obtain from having a captain, an experienced player, as well as a former captain on the team? So Vendy Click is talking about his new team, which what's the name of it? So
Uh,
basically, having a captain, a former captain as a player, what advantage do you think that holds for your new team? Is basically the question.
um, I don't know, Slim. Why don't you tell us? Because you got
Well,
Jing over there.
yes, I do have Jing. I can say that it definitely helps a lot because I mean, yeah, they've been a captain for a long time. Benny's been a captain for a long time. Jing's been a captain since day one. So I think maybe in some sense it's both a relief, but at the same time probably hard for those players to kind of take a back seat to what's going on. But they'll definitely be valuable because they were captain in the first place. Clearly a good captain if they were able to do it for consecutive seasons. So they're probably really good when it comes to organization, etc. So I think just in their nature, they'll be a really, really solid team player. I wish I could send you guys the emails that Jing sends to contact his opponents every week. They are just beautiful, beautiful pieces of work, and just like every email that he sends, I don't know, he's just an amazing guy. So I think very highly of captain players, former captain players.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good answer in my book. I've never played with a captain still on my team, so I couldn't tell you. I've been the only damn captain of this ship.
But if you had to imagine,
I mean, I think there's advantages to it. You have someone that knows the ins and outs of the league. You have someone that can help you through the rough times, and um, captains have different styles. And if you have a former captain that had certain things that were successful that they could share with you, they're not part of your leadership repertoire. Um, there's advantages to that you can always learn from others who have been there before you. I'm reading this next one. Um,
Cassie's quiet.
Cassie is quiet.
Sorry, my opponent submitted his classes. I'm already figuring out what I want to do.
Oh my
So
god,
Slim,
Um,
it's a problem we don't
this
understand.
tryhard over here.
We're not in the playoffs anymore, Slim. So
I'm
we
over
don't.
here typing to Mange, and I'm like, hey, I think I'm gonna do this. He hasn't responded yet, but
Yeah, ban
um,
Hunter Kappa.
so that's that. But I think it should be valuable. Those guys know each other in real life too. Like they have a history, so they should get along really well. I think maybe you can run the risk of having too many cooks in the kitchen and like, oh, I want to do it this way and I want to do it that way. But again, I think the key is just having players that enjoy playing together. And if you can make that work, then it'll work. So I don't know.
I don't know.
So Zenergy has cemented itself as a major force in the league.
Has it?
Pause.
Because
I'm glaring. I know you two can't see me, but
It's
I'm
this
true.
glaring.
past season, oh man,
Well.
that's rough.
After a mediocre season and a purging of players, what do you think
Mediocre.
happens to a team with high expectations while retaining only two original members? Those filthy role players. That's what I think happens. They did pretty well this season.
So the two original members,
Now pastry's gone.
Pastry and Vendi are gone.
Yep.
It's Diamond.
Diamond is
Katota.
staying, and Katoda is staying. Okay. So, what do you think happens to a team with high expectations while retaining only two original members?
I think it's going to be an adjustment, right? Because I think the issue with Zenergy all along has been that they have players literally all over the world, and thus meeting up to practice and talk about things is really difficult. Because
No,
Diamond, I know, lives in India,
Katoda's
and
in Brazil.
Katota's in Brazil, and so like those are on different halves of the world,
Yeah.
and then they're both on the southern hemisphere, whereas the United States on the northern hemisphere. It gets rough, but the issue with them is that the three seeds they don't have right now are those gray area seeds, and like they have a lot of room to kind of mold their team into whatever it is. And Katota's really, really good. So there's potential. I don't know if we can make a prediction yet, just because we don't know what players they have.
Yeah, I don't know. We saw the post on Facebook today from the Zenergy owner, I suppose, as it were, that Jack gentleman, I believe.
Gentleman Jack? I love
Gentleman
Gentleman
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah, so he made a post. I think they're whatever the case may be, like they definitely recognizing there's a huge shakeup to Zenergy here in THL and Hearthstone. So I think whatever the case is, it's getting taken
Hmm.
pretty seriously. So I don't know, like a season like this feels really bad. So I think whatever the case is, I hope they can swing it back a little bit. They've got a lot of flexibility, like Cassie said. They've got seeds 2 through 4 to build, and like the world is your oyster at that point. I think
Yeah.
it just
It,
depends on like how quickly they've gotten on it, because I think players are getting eaten up left and right on teams. So I don't know. I think there's gonna be plenty to come, but
you have the bookends, and
Jack Brendan is manager and owner of both the League of Legends and Hearthstone team, and
and Dota. Yeah.
says Bendy.
So you got the bookends. You just gotta fill up the shelves with something other than
Hmm.
slutty Fabio covered fucking romances. Something I just wanted to address that was asked earlier. If I could just name the new teams and their captains, um, so people are aware they exist and know who to talk to about those teams. As I don't know all the team names, I'll just tell you the captains for now, and they could tell you who the hell they are as far as team names. But in the blue division, we're going to see Twiz is going to be captaining a new team up there. In green, you have two new teams in Team Lemur, and Team Gideon Echo. And many could argue, as the last question just stated, that you also have Team Zenergy. Um, yes, they're experienced and established team, but they're filling a lot of spots. In the red division, you'll have Team Salt, and in the orange division, you will have Team Jury Damage. So there's my PSA for Mr. Salt, who asked me to make sure people were aware of the new captains. I didn't see any further ones coming through, so you want to just announce the Salty Saturday lineup, and then we can wrap this baby up?
Yeah, it's
Sure.
getting to be about that time here. So Salty Saturday, I actually learned today I'm gonna be helping cast it.
Oh,
So
baby. Now I definitely got to
Nice.
get back in time to watch this thing.
yeah, so 9 p.m. Eastern. This is all Eastern, of course. This is THL. This is the only real time zone. Just kidding.
Although it's not Eastern Standard Time, it's Eastern Daylight Time
Yeah,
because that matters
it's
for
true.
people internationally.
Yeah, you know. So first up, we talked it up a bit. Grim versus Jesus C. Going to be really good. That might just be the first match or so that kicks off. Um, oh no, you said Parker's going to be playing on Saturday. That might be one of the first ones that kicks off that series. And then we got Mange versus Crayon.
Oh,
The Team
baby.
Rank 5 Continuum Madness continues. And then one little peek at the Supreme and Harry Generals matchup, and it's a good one. It's Poker versus Cheesy. That's going to be really, really great. And then to close it out is Super Explosive Sheep versus Parker.
Oh,
MV Parker
baby.
does. So by the end of this night, like, we're gonna have 3/5. If more of it isn't determined previously or after, see,
Yeah.
if nothing is getting played before, like we're gonna have three
I think I
fifths.
am.
We're gonna have Cassidy. Okay,
I
so
think so.
by the end of the night, I mean, either way, if 3/5 of it is played, like the majority of the Continuum Team Rank 5 series is gonna get figured out on Salty Saturday, and
Yeah.
that's insane. Oh my god. There's a question.
Yeah, Mike says that we missed his question, and his question was good, and he's very upset about it.
In Tavern Talk Q&A. Oh, the really big one. I, I didn't paste that one in here. I'm sorry. I
Was it
what was it?
good? Was
What
it?
was it about? Like he prefaced that question, be like completely acknowledging that it was one of those ones that we basically skip over. So I kind of skipped over it.
I
Let me
don't
see.
remember. If he can type it really fast.
I'm gonna search.
Oh, wait. I'm not gonna hide the. Yep. I see it. I'm just gonna read it word for word. So hopefully,
Okay.
Jedi says most of their match will be done by then too. The Harry General Supreme thing.
I'm not going to hide the fact that this question is about my team with some BS that doesn't matter. In season beta, Team Rank 5 nearly upset eventual champion Gosu Casuals, going into Game 5 while the match was 2-2. Since then, we have a season where we finished third in points, a season where we finished first in points, a finals appearance, and another potential finals appearance around the corner if we win this week. This league has several flagship teams in Archon Storm, the Gosu Casuals, and the Harry Generals. My question is, in your opinion, has Team Rank 5 done enough to join their ranks? Or are we forever memers and bullies who are carried by Brian and Jesus? Um, at,
Also, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
also, what's my favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate chip cookie dough, but I bought birthday cake today because I wanted to be different.
Can
Wow,
I tell
that's
you
so
guys?
cool.
I'm gonna confess something here on stream that I get made fun of for a lot. I'm known as the old man of my group of friends because
Ew, you like mint chocolate chip and pistachio.
no, I don't like either of those. But I
Mm.
fall asleep early, and
Butter
that's just
pecan?
yeah. I love butter pecan, man.
Oh.
I love it. It's so good. You drizzle some maple syrup on it. Oh baby, let's go. But yeah,
Me, I'm a sucker for, well, I don't know, it's like a general theme, but this is a really specific ice cream, like the panda paws type stuff where it's just all chocolate and peanut butter cup things.
that's good.
It gets me going.
So back to Major's question. I'm just gonna read my response because
No, clearly the ice cream was the more important part.
you're right. It was. But just to make him happy, I responded in the Facebook thread. I'm just gonna read it word for word because that's exactly how I feel.
Donnie
Um,
likes the buttered pecan.
Thank you, Donnie. I've been on the Team Rank 5 bandwagon for a minute now. I had them preseason number one. I even said I think they're the team to beat this season several times here on the show. I believe I might have misquoted or given credit to the wrong person here. Referred to Team Rank 5 as the model for success in regards to the blueprint for a team. I mean, community-wise, hanging out, the way that you should
Yeah,
interact with your team.
yeah.
And that closed it by saying the Pinta, the Nina, and the Team Rank 5.
I don't know. We haven't won a championship. So are we really like a flag bearer? I don't know. We're close if we're not, but if we win a championship, there's no doubt, right? But until then, I don't know. Like we're really consistent. We're like the Buffalo Bills in the '90s. They went to like four straight Super Bowls, didn't win a single one. I really don't want to end up like that team, but still, you think back to that time period, and you're like, oh, they were one of the best football teams around. So I don't know, maybe, but we'll get that ring, and then there won't be any doubt in anybody's mind.
So who's
Yeah,
who's Jim Kelly?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess
Not
Get
me.
was the MVP. Probably
Oh,
in bulk.
yeah,
No, or
probably.
Jesus, or is
God
it Jesus?
damn it. Probably in bulk.
fluffing that you go.
No, but for this,
Here
yeah,
come the
I don't know,
dog memes.
like he listed the flagship teams as the ones who have won seasons, but surprisingly Noob Central's not there. I guess because they like broke up so much. Like Archon Storm, the Gosu Casuals, and the Harry Generals to some extent have stayed intact, although the Harry Generals looks a lot different now than it used to.
Mm.
But I don't know, they're just that alpha cool team that's stuck around. Like so few teams from Alpha have stuck around, really. But Team Rank 5 has been around a really long time, and I don't know, they're they're just like they're such a solid team. If you just hang out in Discord, like you root for them. So I don't know, like they're so close. I don't know. I think we need to get better verbiage behind what makes this
Yeah,
flagship team thing a thing. I don't know. Like we got Team Rank Friday, right?
yeah,
I don't know. I'd say they're pretty much a flagship team at this point with what presence they brought to the table. I don't know. It seems that way to me. At least in my heart, my tiny little manlet heart.
I was under the impression that a manlet heart takes up half of the manlet body.
No, there's not much blood to be pumped around, so it's a pretty small heart.
um, I would just like to comment that Entropy is an alpha team. Go Entropy. Um,
That's right.
so unless there's any other pressing matters such as people screaming at me in Twitch chat that I need to address their question, I think that brings us to our closing thoughts and our party thoughts for the folks at home.
Manlet heart, Craigasm.
What would you like to say to the folks at home before we depart tonight?
Well, I'm about to type "oh my dog" and "aru" space and press Control V, Control A, Control C, Control V a few times in
there it is.
solidarity for Imbulk. No, I'm really
God.
excited to see the matches this week. Obviously, I'm gonna have the pleasure to be jumping on board of Salty Saturday and any other matches I can get my hands on. So I'm just looking forward to it all. No matter who wins or loses, there's gonna be great stories being made either way. So I'm just excited to be a part of it for now.
Cassie, what do you got for the folks at home?
Team rank 5, let's go to work, baby. I'll be in that Discord channel in a few minutes.
Oh, Rob's questioning my height.
Oh God, it's 5'2". Actually, 5'3". He grew an inch. Um, Folks, thank you as always for tuning in. I don't want to throw my bias out here on a public forum, but I will be posting my picks for this week as my personal preference in the Facebook thread as soon as this is done. So if you want to know who Jack Sox is cheering for this weekend on Salty Saturday, um, you can find that out when the show's done. We'll be here next week to tell you about the championship. We'll be up to our regular shenanigans. I'm going to stall a little bit because it looks like Slimps just got himself the tape measure. Maybe
Yeah,
Slimps
I'm
will
not.
leave it.
No, I'm
Maybe
not
he'll
gonna
even
mention
do a
this.
tape measure stream for us
No, I'll
over
do
the
that some
weekend.
other time. As long as people give me my height, I continue to grow in size. Yeah, I'm only 5'3" right now.
All right, everybody. We'll be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.